What's up, everybody? I'm Dylan Bartlett, and I have a passion for small business. You're hearing it here first. So we're talking to business owners to find out how they got started and what keeps them driven to succeed. This is In Your Business.
Hope we can use that for something.
Color grading, videos. Sounds like science, gang. Yeah, please use all of these. We have to switch sides. We can fix all of this in the editing. I'm kidding. He likes it when I make fun of him like that. He makes fun of me all the time.
All right, so look, here's the deal. Yeah. Today we're talking about customer service. Yeah, for real. So this happened to me once when I was younger, and it always made me think, okay, is this good customer service or is this bad customer service?
Okay.
I call this story, You Want Lots. Okay.
Yeah.
So no joke, I am cruising through a fast food place. I won't name specifically what fast food place it is, right? But I'm going through the drive-through, and I've got my son in the car, my family's there.
Yeah.
And I'm just being typical me. So I order all my food, and I said I'd like lots of hot sauce. You know? Right?
Okay.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So then I roll up to the window, and this kid who's working there, he's probably a high school student or something like that, right?
Yes.
And he hands me out the bag, so I'm holding this bag by the loops of the handles, and I'm holding it out the window.
Okay.
So he passes me the bag, and I take it, and I said, "Oh, is there hot sauce in there?" And he says, "Yeah, it's in the bag." And I said, "Yes, but is there lots?" Right?
Yeah.
And no joke, this kid goes straight in my face. He goes, "You want lots?" Right? And I'm I'm intrigued now, right?
Friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Friend.
Right? So I go, yeah,
Yeah.
I do want lots,
Yeah.
right? So while I'm holding this bag out, he takes his hands, he shoves them down into the container of the hot sauce.
Packets.
Yeah, right? Of all the packets,
I liked
right?
it better.
Yeah.
I thought it was just
liquid hot sauce. No, the packets. Obviously the packets. Good God, man.
I know.
Right? So he shoves his hands down in there. He pulls out, I'm not kidding, a basketball-sized, as much as you could hold between your two hands, right? He comes to the window and he fires them in my bag, and they go everywhere. They overflow the bag, they go all over the floor and everything, right?
Oh, okay.
All over the ground, and then he goes, "Now you got lots."
Yeah.
So for me, it was okay, now I had enough hot sauce to last me a year. And I ate this hot sauce forever and a day
you got
after
hooked
that.
up.
Yeah, it was awesome, right? So I felt like he did me a huge solid.
Yeah.
And is that good customer service or bad customer service?
Well, you got what you asked for, but it's bad customer service.
Is it though?
Yes, because he could give you a lot of hot sauce without being passive-aggressively angry.
Yeah. So hey, what's up, everybody? We're here hanging out with Anthony from No Drama Fitness. Man, tell everybody about your business.
Oh, hey.
Yes. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. I'm Anthony Wilkinson. I have a gym called No Drama Fitness, and it's all about changing the fitness game. So meeting people where they're at in terms of their fitness level, being supportive, being goal-oriented, and none of the dramatic nonsense stuff that comes with the fitness industry.
No drama.
No drama.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so cool. So let's talk about that. So I've been slouchy, all winter. Mm-hmm. Real deep, dark place,
Yeah.
What's your advice then? In your culture, in your place, how do you guys kind of get people to kind of snap out of their kind of negative routines and get into something a little more positive?
Sure. Well, it's habits and triggers, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is the part of when you run a business, right? I was a coach, and I was like, okay, cool. This is what a deadlift is. This is why people should do it. Here's how you teach people how to do the deadlift. And the part we forget about is that why would somebody want to do it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Why would I get off my couch?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What is the point of getting up really early in the morning?
Yeah, because you're a morning person. We're shooting this in the morning.
I am not a morning person, but thank you.
But you're a morning person because you have to be a morning person, right?
Yes.
By necessity, you're a morning person. Yes. I am not. We made coffee together. I think we did a pretty good job this morning.
We did the best job.
But without this coffee, I'm comatose right now. So what motivates me to wake up extra early in the morning and try to hit the gym?
Okay, great question. So motivation is largely nonsense.
Yeah.
Let's call BS on motivation.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Not that motivation doesn't exist and not that people don't feel motivated. The problem anytime you're trying to change, which really my business is a change business, right? How can we help people change from where they're at now closer towards where they would like to be, right? And that is all based on, as I said before, habits. People come to me and they're like, I want a coach, and I want the coach to motivate me. How we motivate people is by helping them be successful.
So you're not screaming at people?
I don't scream at people. I very rarely scream at people.
Very rarely. So there is a... So what's
I have yelled.
Okay.
I have yelled occasionally.
Okay.
But very rarely.
What would I have to do in order for you to yell at me?
You would have to endanger yourself or someone around.
Okay. Well, that's a fair enough reason.
Yeah,
And that's
my job is to prevent that from happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hijinks and hilarity are okay, but safety.
Fun is good. Injuries are bad.
Injuries are bad. Okay.
And safety is bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
cool.
it's about So as I said, like, motivation comes from winning at something.
Yeah.
So how can we give someone a small win every training session, and then cool, I've achieved something I never achieved before.
Yeah. So they start to feel better about it, and then they want to have that feeling more.
Yeah, as I said, it comes from the motivation comes from success. If you have no success, then you're going to be unmotivated.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, for sure. What if it's just like you're just a straight up lost cause like me and you just cannot wrap your head around mornings? There's other times in the day.
There's other times.
Yeah. I don't have to work out in the morning.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to work out in the morning. You can do what you can do now.
Yeah.
Which is part of that job of a coach is figuring out what is the best way for you to spend your time right now.
Yeah.
And then what's the next logical step that moves you towards your goals.
Yeah, cool. Awesome, man. So tell everybody, like, what's something that maybe from the outside looking in that maybe somebody wouldn't know about your business?
I say this a lot. I would say the outside looking in perspective is that I hear from people a lot that they are, people are like, I'd like to come train with you. I've heard good things, but I'm not in good enough shape to walk in the door.
Yeah, right. Okay. So they feel like they're so far behind it that they're not even at a place where they're ready to start yet.
Yeah, and I think that we're successful, and by the royal we, like everyone that trains at the gym is pretty successful because we set the standards pretty high. But I think that kind of gets lost out in the public in terms of like, we meet you where you're at. So my job, and this is why we always interview people when they walk in the door. Like the first thing you do when you come to our gym is you sit down with the coach and you have an interview, which is like, what have you done? What do you want to do? And so you kind of get a feel about like what your past experiences are like and what your goals are and how to move people towards that, so that we can then structure something that like you can immediately get up and start moving.
Yeah. So it's essentially custom for every single person who comes into your place, right?
Yeah,
To a degree.
Yeah, we call it the prescriptive model, so that everyone individually, even in group training, everyone can have like an individualized prescription. So this workout that everyone's kind of doing together, this is your sort of angle to take on it, where someone else might take a slightly different angle on it.
This is actually something that's always kind of interesting to me. I find it to be. It's probably like the one thing that like as entrepreneurs, small business owners, that you get to have that's kind of different from what everybody else has. Like, I think that experience that you're describing, the concept of having something be custom is really the main thing that sets, our businesses apart from like say a big box style business. Like, there's gyms in the city where you can go and you can pay whatever a month to go to the gym, but you're not going to have a conversation with somebody. They're not going to create some kind of training program for you. You know what I mean? So it's such a different experience, and I think that it's what a lot of good business owners in small towns do well is that they do try to create kind of a custom experience for their customers when they come in. What's with food, man?
What's with food?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm also
You're
a fan.
I like
obviously.
to eat. Yeah, I like to eat food.
Yeah, like so a couple of things are happening. It's always these two forces, which is like the market forces, which is like 50 years ago, we had shortages of food. We had to figure out ways to make food last for a long time. And then all of a sudden processed food started becoming more and more popular, right? So now we have all these processed foods / convenience foods. We have people who are busier and busier, like both people in the household are working now, no one's cooking. And then you have this sort of quick fix approach, which is like people want to lose weight as rapidly as possible, and then they don't want to. people want to like lose 30 pounds or whatever it is, and then now I've lost 30 pounds, I can go back to living my lifestyle the way I did before this.
Yeah, for sure.
The diet, the whole concept of a diet is I would say 90% of the time unsuccessful.
Yeah. So is it just like to a degree, eat what you want, but eat everything with some level of moderation?
I would say, if I were to be super general, is don't get 100% hung up on the label of what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's what are you eating right now? How can you adjust it? So most people are eating too much refined carbohydrate, so we can take some of that out. Women are often not hardly eating any protein, so can women get a bit more protein in? Again, I'm being just anecdotally from what I've seen.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's less alcohol and more sleep. I know. And that's, sir, how dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you? Right.
There's a significant amount of judgment there.
I know. I felt it.
Yes.
I felt it across the table. Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes me like, I don't know, you and I have talked about this before, like just the concept of that, and like, you know, even like what, because, you know, there's like a lot of people who kind of train for vanity, right? And then there's, you know, then there's people like yourself who tend to train more for just strength, you know what I mean? And it's like, so depending on how much you're working out and how hard you're working out, of course that changes not only what you should eat, but how much you should eat, right? So I mean, if you guys are going to do like the CrossFit Open, right? And there's going to be like a serious workout that you guys are about to do. Like, how do people prep for something like that?
Honestly, well, in terms of our community, the best thing that people can do is go to bed an hour earlier the night before.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, this is I realize we're having the diet talk.
Yeah.
Right? So, most people, most adults are chronically fatigued, and most don't realize it.
Oh, yes.
Yes, also.
Yes, also me.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're great on Monday because I had the weekend and I got a lot of sleep, but talk to me Thursday, Friday morning.
Yeah, you're starting to feel pretty washed out.
Starting to get a little bit messy, right? Most people are eating more than they think and moving less than they think.
Yeah.
Right? So, on the whole, it's about helping people to eat a bit less in terms of like their caloric intake, which is like, what are the things that have a lot of calories in? Because we take a couple of things away, all of a sudden you're good to go, right? And then how can we get you to move a little bit more? And what are the habits, triggers, and schedules that we can put in place for those things to happen?
Yeah, awesome. All right, so then how do you feel about swearing, man? Question number 2.
I think swearing, I am a fan.
Yeah.
I think there's a time and place, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
have you ever seen the episode of, this is a strange reference, but have you ever seen the episode of SpongeBob?
I've seen SpongeBob.
Okay, there's an episode of SpongeBob that you should go watch because he calls it a sentence enhancer. And I think that is accurate.
Yes, it's a communications tool. And I think, well, I mean, in my business, I feel I try to be, well, because I'm not, I feel like I do professional work, but I'm not a professional in terms of like behavior.
Yeah, okay.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
For sure,
So
it's weird though, because I think that there's a bit of a gray area there too, right? Where sometimes people think just because you're having fun doing what you're doing and you're having some level of joy in it, that now you're not professional anymore. Like, do we all need to be like down in the dumps?
Miserable?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that to me makes sense. Like I find your energy to be infectious. So if you're excited about what you're doing, especially like something, you know, let's be honest, kind of shitty, you know, like waking up early and having to go and like put gym shoes on and now I got to work out. You know what I mean? Like,
how dare you?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Fair.
But like that, you know, but
the shitty part, honestly, sorry, I'm going to jump in here.
Yeah.
The shitty part always, and this is for everybody, because I think people always ask me like, how do you get up at 4:30?
Oh, it's crazy, man.
I get up.
Because like you've been up, it's lunchtime for you right now.
Yeah, I get up and I get dressed and I go to the gym. It's the getting up and getting to the gym is the hardest part. Yeah. Once I'm at the gym, although my 5 a.m. class may disagree, it's good. It's all good from there, right?
5 a.m. class.
It's just getting there is so hard, right?
Well, this is funny because my very next question is, are you a morning person? So now we're talking about swearing, about being a morning person.
I guess I am. I mean, I don't cop to it. But
I think definitively
I'm happier in the morning for sure, and I'm more productive in the morning. I don't know if I'm happier is the right word, but I like being I like being up and around in the
You see
morning.
the face I'm making?
I know, but I don't like getting up.
Help me understand you. I'm trying to understand you. Well, no, I agree with you. Like the physical act of like swinging your feet over the edge of the bed and putting them onto the ground is probably the hardest. It's probably the hardest part to do.
Yeah, this
like,
is the
once like I'm in my covers, like I'm all wrapped up. But once
You're comfortable.
I'm comfortable. Yeah, and I'm warm. And once the comfort level is gone, once the blankets are off and my feet are on the floor, then I'm like, all right, let's get after it. Yeah. But the physical act of doing that is really challenging. All right, so you're up early. You're rolling into like what would be lunchtime for you right now.
Sure.
Do you like breakfast food?
I love breakfast food. Is my favorite food.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a great answer, man.
Yeah, breakfast food is always a perfect.
What are we talking? Are you like a standard bacon and eggs guy?
Not so much bacon anymore. Not because I have any particular issue with bacon. Again, this is the diet.
I'll flip this table over. We'll fight. Me and you will fight right now.
Bacon continues to be delicious.
I have
I love
bacon
it.
and eggs on my socks.
Usually, I'll do a couple eggs and usually like some sort of wilted spinach situation.
Really?
Yeah.
Trying to get a little health food in there.
Well, I think. Again, we can talk about willpower is like an expendable resource.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really easy for me to eat really well my first meal of the day. It's at the end of the day at like 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night, especially when I'm like at the gym late. I get home at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'm like really tired.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's my body's like wants just all the carbohydrate. Right?
Yeah.
So it's easy for me.
But you're unique from the point of view that you have a pretty bizarre schedule, right? Like, from the point of view, like if you're working a 10 or a 12-hour day, there's probably like a period of time in the middle of the day where you don't have to work. Like, but by work I mean physically be at the gym, right?
I'm not providing the service I provide.
Yeah.
So I have this weird sort of split shift structure where I'm like a couple hours in the morning and then a couple hours at night and then sometimes a couple hours in the middle.
So when you're up that early in the morning, you're legitimately making breakfast. Like did you eat breakfast this morning?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No,
this
is the time of the day when I usually eat breakfast between 9 a.m. and noon. No, I remember someone used to say like anytime when you get up in the morning with there's a foreign, it's painful, and for a while it's very uncomfortable. But I see. Here's the game I play because we talk about this too, right? Which is like triggers and habits. So if I get up in the morning, I don't want to go to bed. Mel Robbins stole from me because that's what she would do. But I'm kidding, of course. But I take 3 big breaths, and then on the third breath, I get out.
You're really this is how you hype yourself up.
I have to. Do. I have to because I'm always like, because I can't afford to close my eyes because if I close my eyes, I turn my alarm off. Then people are like, where is our coach this morning?
Exactly. Why is the gym door locked?
Yeah, why is the gym door locked, right? And I'm like, I had difficulty enough being functional at that first class. So
don't you think that I think a big part of that though too is like scheduling things in the morning that you have to hold yourself accountable to. Do you know what I mean? Like,
100%. Yeah, it's way easier because I know people expect me to be there. Which again, back to like, how do people get started with training? It's like hire a coach. And if you're not ready to hire a coach, then find a friend. And so you both are beholden to each other to like show up. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, for sure. And this next one is what's your favorite sport/sports team?
Oh, well, here's the thing.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead. Tell the people.
Yeah, I run a gym. I'm really excited about physical training.
Yeah.
And
you train a lot of athletes.
I train a lot of athletes.
Totally, right?
And I am not a fan of professional sports.
So there's not a single sport that you watch?
I'll watch any sport for like 5 minutes, but I'm always like, I would prefer to play the sport than watch the sport.
Oh yeah, no, listen, like most people would, I would too. But just so that we're clear for everybody, there's only one answer. There's only one right answer.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, and I don't care what sport you like. Yeah. I like plenty of sports, and I like plenty of sports team. But the correct answer is the Toronto Maple Leafs. The end. That's it.
Yeah. Best of luck with that. I'll give you the throwback answer because when I was a big fan of basketball. I watched basketball in high school. And I was a giant Utah Jazz fan.
Okay.
And so
we're talking like Malone.
We're talking Stockton Malone.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
And then my heart got broken because they lost to the Bulls twice.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, and then I was like.
And we talked about this before because I was a Jordan kid big time.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I grew up, like that was like. Yeah, Jordan was everything. I had.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Chicago Bulls everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I had actually one of the flyest coats you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, I can
Chicago
only-
Bulls.
I
No,
can
listen,
only
it
imagine.
had it was
had the
black.
leather sleeves?
No, it didn't have the
Oh, it
leather
didn't have
sleeves.
leather
No,
sleeves,
no,
okay.
it was black though. You know, the back's full size Chicago Bulls symbol,
Yeah.
obviously, right?
Clearly,
and
as you do.
but then it had a gray like tracksuit material, like hoodie material hood on it.
Okay.
Oh, you've never seen one like that
No,
before.
that's next level.
Listen, if somebody's got one of these out there, I want it. I'll pay good money for it. Like.
The hoodie jacket combo.
Yeah, because it was like one of those jackets that, like, when it was gone, I always thought, man, where'd that go? I want that back. Me and you tend to be like a little bit nerdy about some stuff.
No.
Right? Yeah, just sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, there's a point in time where you're an actual frickin' nerd, right? And you're like mad smart when it comes to computers.
I'm always a nerd. Yeah, one thing I really took to immediately was like computers and computer programming and writing software. So yeah, so that's what my background was. That's what I went to college for. I was like a huge gamer and like in high school, I wouldn't write an essay, but I wrote like a text adventure based on Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So I wrote like it wasn't just me. It was me and a couple of guys. Like ended up writing like, it was probably like almost 100 pages of code, and so we had to hand in our teacher, and the teacher's like, "How do I grade this?" And then we're like, "Well, it's 100."
Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you this. See, I would do the exact opposite. Like, I remember one time, even things I knew about, I would just be an asshole. You know, like, I remember like writing, like handwriting, you know, because that was the thing.
Yeah.
Right? I remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, right? Remember, yeah. I don't know if
I used to pay I used to pay one of my classmates for her to write because my handwriting would be completely illegible. Yeah.
Somewhere I had found like this yellow pen, right?
Oh wow!
Right, and it was impossible to read.
No,
like, you know, right?
Absolutely.
So I like wrote an entire like essay in this yellow pen, and half of it was nonsense. I fully expected that the teacher wouldn't read it.
Yeah.
And this teacher that we had was awesome, and he totally got what I was trying to do. He was on to my whole scam.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Yeah, man, look, I'm not gonna read this. You get a D." And I was like, "You know what? That's what I was after."
I'll take it.
You know, full disclosure. That's exactly what I was trying to get.
I'll take
You know what I mean?
it.
Yeah, I will take it. 'Cause
A
It's
good
better
old
than
D.
it's better than the F that it deserved. You know.
Yeah.
So how do you go from being a computer programmer to doing what you're doing now?
Well, I love playing sports. In high school, I played all the sports I could, and then I got to college, and I went to
This fascinates me though. You follow no sports, but you play all of the sports.
and then I got to college. I was like, oh, cool. There's more sports that I can be terrible at, and so I played all the sports in college as well. And then afterwards, I was working in IT and trying to figure out what being an adult was. And so I just worked all the time, and I was just pretty miserable and didn't move very much. And then I was just trying to find. So for me, I found CrossFit. I was a runner throughout high school because I went to a really small high school. If you didn't run, there was that's half the sports gone, right?
Yeah.
So, so I was running, but I was kind of like, you can only do so much of that. And then I found this, so the movie 300 came out.
Yeah.
Right. And so Mark Twight, who has a business called Jim Jones, he was a kind of affiliate with CrossFit at that point as well. So anyways, he was training them, and then 300 led me to CrossFit, and CrossFit led me to CrossFit.com, and that led me to the forums, and then I started. So
in some weird roundabout way, Gerard Butler's just shredded bod, and he's got undies. He's got undies on and a cape. Probably one of the best beards in Hollywood, right?
It was a good beard,
right?
It was a great beard,
and he helps guide you. He's your shepherd.
Yeah, he
helps guide you on this path.
Well, I watched the workouts that they were doing, and I'm like, this is actually looks hard, but it looks fun. Where I would go to the gym, and you'd like every other gym back in, again, people aren't going to think about now, but like 20 years ago, well, maybe 15 years ago, gyms didn't have barbells.
I could probably Google it.
Like having a gym around here with barbells in place didn't happen, right? So I went to a tiny gym that just had some machines and dumbbells that went up to 25, because God forbid anybody get strong.
Yeah.
And so you go and you do the circuit, right? You go meet with the trainer, and the trainer would be like, I'm going to show you how to do these movements, and you're going to, and I wrote down what he told me to do, and I did those things. But it was a good lesson for me to look back later, because I didn't know why I was doing these things. I did the workout twice and I got bored as hell. And so I still went and did it, but like I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can, even professional athletes, if you have them do a workout, the most amount of times a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete will perform the same workouts, usually about 8 times.
Yeah.
And then after that, they're like,
Which is wild, right? I mean, it's like so much variety.
yeah.
Like that's a lot. I mean, like as a coach, like when you're training somebody,
Yeah.
it goes to show you like how often you're like rethinking things and like and tweaking things and changing things as you go.
Yeah, well, and comes back to like people come to us and they're like, I need a workout program.
Yeah.
And in my arrogance, my first thought, of course, is, well, you don't need a workout program because I can write you out a program and I can give it to you, but you're not going to do it. You're not going to know how to do it. You're not going to know why you're doing it. Mm-hmm. So we don't provide programs, right? We provide coaching, which is like
support, really.
well, yeah, here's what's best for you right now, and then we're going to change this over time so that you're still excited to come in and try something new, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so I think all we need to do now is you need to just tell the people where they can go to learn more about you.
Oh, it's easy. NoDramaFitness.ca. Sign up for a no sweat intro, and you can come tour the gym, and we can sit down and have a chat and see what best fit is for you and how to get you started.
Awesome. And also, you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We
Yes.
could probably, through the magic of editing.
Can I do this? Can I like frame it in or something?
we-
Like I don't know.
Like,
where
would
we
it be
put
here
it?
somewhere?
Where we put it
There
here?
would be like social media handles here.
Yeah, but I really hope they put it like over here or something. Never mind.
All right, just across here.
Yeah, just across our faces. Like put a big black square over my body.
Yeah.
With all of the social stuff on it. Perfect.
That's what we're going to do.
Perfect.
That's what we're going to do,
And I
for
could
sure.
just look around like, oh, is it? Oh.
Well, thanks for being here.
Hey,
man.
thanks
This was
for
fun.
having me.
And thanks for helping me trudge through the coffee situation. You have some breakfast, lunch, brunch to eat.
Yeah, I gotta go home and get some eggs into me.
Delicious.
Perfect.
We'll see you next time.
In your business.